So, Vice Chancellor, it's now time for me to welcome the Head Department of Chemical Sciences to deliver her welcome address. Come around to the Honorable Lady, Ms. Dr. Professor
Thank you, sir. Observing the existing protocol, starting with the Vice Chancellor of this great institution, the DVC card, the Registrar of this great institution, the Dean of Faculty of Science, Directors here present, Director of CUS, Director of Entrepreneurship, Director of Linkage and Partnership, my dear friend, representatives of the Corporate Affairs Office, and the great fathers and leaders of chemistry in Chemical Science Department, Professor Babatunde Ogunsanwo, Professor Najim Babande, and Dr. Olufemi Adeyemi, who happens to be the chairman of the organizing committee of today's event. Also, I cannot but recognize the presence of my dear erudite scholars and ever-supportive colleagues in the Department of Chemical Sciences, academics and non-academics, and especially to my dear friends and students, both undergraduates and postgraduates. As an old saying goes, old chemists never fail or die, but continue to react even to eternity. So while we see our cations and anions moving in our system, we will continue to go higher in places and also in glory by His grace and mercy. Profoundly I'm joyous and highly honored to welcome everyone to this auspicious occasion, marking the maiden edition of the Departmental Entrepreneurship Awareness Lecture Series. The lecture is to educate and prepare our outgoing final year students for life and make them self-reliant and after graduation. The theme of today's lecture, key success factors in 21st century entrepreneurship, was carefully chosen to elucidate some key knowledge needed to make our graduates stand shoulder to shoulder with others anywhere on the globe. Mr. Vice Chancellor, sir, it is my pleasure to inform this gathering that the two guest speakers of today, though one of them is unavoidably absent, he has a foreign urgent trip to make. Sorry for that. So both of them are great alumni of this great department, particularly Mr. Sam Ogunchimi, the Chief Executive Officer of Coding Pharma Limited, graduated from this prestigious institution in 1987. And likewise, Alhaji Rashid Ademite, the CEO of Rashid Ventures Limited in Ogun State, also graduated in 1994, myself. And also, the duo was selected based on the recognition of their great achievements as chemistry graduates who had made landmark achievements in the development of chemical industries in Nigeria and beyond. Let me let you know at this junction, the idea of this lecture was born out of two potent reasons. One, my visit to Mr. Samson Ogunchimi headquarters office in Lagos. When we were discussing, he mentioned during the course of the discussion that they will manage to interview about 500 plus graduates for job. And out of all these lot result, less than 50 of them were employable. And I was curious, what could that be? What could have been the missing link that we are yet to give them in the four walls of the university? Apart from this, in line with the vision of our great Vice Chancellor, particularly talking about producing a well-rounded and self-reliant entrepreneurial graduates by forming synergy and linkage with the industrial giants in the outside world. So these two reasons call for this meeting. However, I believe that at the end of today's program, our students will not only be well-informed and all-rounded graduates, but employable and entrepreneurial fit after graduation. I thank you all for giving us your time to witness this revolution emerging in the world of chemistry department at this period. God bless you all, and thank you.
Thank you very much. Can we put our hands together for the Thank you very much. I have the honor of equally inviting another distinguished scholar of this great university, a former director, Entrepreneurship and Innovation Directorate in Olabisi Onabanjo University. I'm talking of any other person than a distinguished scholar and a distinguished member of Senate of Olabisi Onabanjo University, Professor Papatunde Ogunsanwo. Please step forward and take our Sorry, before our distinguished professor let me quickly invite the former director of, the director of Entrepreneurship and Innovation, Dr. Mrs. Olubume, to the high table. Dr. Olubume, thank you very much.
Our Techno-Entrepreneurial Vice Chancellor. The BBC Academy, our special guest lecturer, the man that we're all very proud of in Ogun State and in Nigeria, Samuel Ojimi, the registrar, the dean of my faculty, the head of my department, all the lecturers here, and everybody, particularly the great Nigerian students, the greatest Nigerian students, the greatest and greatest chemists alive, greatest Google. Greatest data. Greatest Google. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, it's a great honor to this very special gathering. Very lucky gathering, particularly our students. They are very lucky indeed, because the Vice Chancellor is a man whose main focus, he has too many focuses, but his main focus is entrepreneurial application of university education. And Mr. Vice Chancellor, I will tell the audience, I will ask the audience a question. Maybe somebody can tell me or give me an answer. What in the world is not chemistry? From the air to your toes, everything you put on is chemistry. Therefore, as I used to tell my students years over years, you are the luckiest student of the country. And I'm sure by the time you listen to Sami today, you will know that you are indeed very lucky. It's a pity that many of us have allowed ourselves to be indoctrinated into the college system inherited from the colonial masters. You know, the colonial masters came to establish colleges. A college is a place where you are taught theoretical applications. Whereas a proper educational system is to bring out the entrepreneurial and the business aspect of every discipline. Take chemistry, for instance. You are putting on a cloth. That is from simple weaving of yarn, which you get from wool, from cotton. You go every morning to the bathroom to clean yourself up, therefore you must need soap. What the white man will teach you is a process called saponification. 2 lines. Whereas proper education is to tell you how to convert your alkali and fat into soap. The white man will teach you the chemistry of terpenoids with giant equations and fail to tell you how to get perfumes out of these beautiful scenting plants around you. Yet you have to buy the perfume. Your chemistry will teach you the equation of bleaching without telling you how to prepare a bleach. Yet you go out to buy jig, you go out to buy any other products. Therefore, in line with the present focus of the university under our dynamic techno-entrepreneurial vice chancellor is to crystallize out the entrepreneurial aspect of every discipline in this university. If you are studying Yoruba, for instance, you may think apart from going to the broadcasting house, there will be no job for you, or being the master of ceremony at parties. But has anybody asked himself or herself, how do you design the clothes we are wearing? How do you bring out beautiful and sumptuous cuisine from Yoruba dishes? How do you even design dancing steps from the beating of a drum, for instance? Therefore, what the focus will be in this university is how to make our graduates employers of labor, like the special guest lecturer today. He graduated from chemistry, but today he employs people in hundreds. And I pray that one day, not only you will, each of you be like him, you also surpass him. I thank you for your attention.
Please let's clap for Professor Tunde. Thank you very much. The Vice Chancellor, the distinguished personality at the high table, distinguished member of the audience, it's now time for me to invite the Director of Entrepreneurship and Innovation in Olabisi Onabanjo University, Dr. Mrs. O.O. Olukomen, to give her address. Thank you. Please put your hands together for her. Thank you.
Standing on the existing protocols, the Vice Chancellor, sir, the DVC admin, academic, the registrar, our father in chemistry, the past entrepreneurship director, sir, I greet you. My dean, the Dean of Science, my HOD, I greet you. Our distinguished guest lecturer of today, You're most welcome, sir. All directors present, all lecturers present, the Corporate Affairs Office, our greatest students. I welcome you all to this occasion. It is indeed the first of its kind, and it promises to be great because you have before you a great person that is going to challenge you, that is going to help you to bring out those potentials that have laid hidden. Hitherto, the employers have been saying that the graduates are not employable, but it's a new dawn today because the crop of people before me, by the time they leave this program, they are going to become employable. Thank you. Our partner in entrepreneurship made a statement the other time, and it was as if he looked into my notes, because I wrote it here, that they start saying that what in the world is not chemistry. It is actually a question, and it has no other answer than there is nothing. Right from your head, as he said, to the sole of your feet, everything is chemistry. All your emotions, they are chemistry. Products and services, they are chemistry. So what we need to do is tap into the entrepreneurial aspect of it and leave the classroom and come into the practical side to see that we are able to answer questions that the society has, because we are in a community and they are begging for answers. And I know that by the time we're done here today, we will give them those answers, because we will go out and we will bring up services, we will bring up products that will be useful for the society, that will be useful for the community. And you know the beautiful part of it? It will also bring cash to you. Who doesn't like money here? Alright, so this program is coming to you to assist you in shaping your ideas. We don't have ideas. They are right there inside of us. But you see, the problem is sometimes when we have those ideas, because maybe somebody has not thought about it, or because we make the mistake of telling the wrong person, they tell you that that idea cannot fly. I want to tell you, those ideas that you have, they will fly. All you need to do is sit, listen attentively to what you will be told today, and then go and incubate. And after the incubation period, you begin to bring forth. And we will see your services, we will see your products. So you may be thinking that chemistry is abstract. You don't want it. I'm sure if I ask a lot of you sitting down here, you say, I didn't even want chemistry. Even me that I'm talking, I didn't want chemistry. So let me start from myself. So we all don't want chemistry. Very few percentage want to study chemistry. But when you think about it, that chemistry is about the world. It's about what goes on. It's about what brings about the circumstances and the changes that we need. You would stop, feeling bad. You will stop beating yourself. As you have been told, our next lecturer of today studied chemistry, and you can see what he is doing. And I want to challenge you today that even more than he is doing, you will do. But honestly, what I want you to do is sit down, take your pen, take your paper. As he begins to talk, you see, it's going to be different from what we do in the classroom. I always tell my students that, see, if you don't end up in an academic environment, nobody's going to ask you what is benzene ring and if there is conjugation there or not. So it's going to be different from that. He is in the industry. He's going to tell you what you need to unleash those ideas that you have and to begin to bring them out. And I want to tell you that I'm very sure that at the end of today's program, you will thank yourself and you will thank the HOD. Thank you all.
You are not clapping. Thank you very much. That's the Director of Entrepreneurship and Innovation for ABC Anabanjo University. I think we have a long way to go, and we have everything, we have every arsenal in our listening here to make sure everything is done accordingly. That is Dr. Mrs. O.O. Olubume. Put your hands again together for her. You know, when somebody heads the directorate under the leadership of Professor Ayodi Jagola, you must be up to task. Yes, if you are not capable, you can't be there. So she's very much ready. And the person that put her there is coming to tell us what education, employability, employment creation, the 3 A's of the current administration. I'm talking of any other person than our amiable Vice Chancellor, Professor Ayodi Jagola. So please come and give us his address on this program. Thank you very much. That's the Vice Chancellor of this great university. Put your hands together for him. Thank you very much.
The principal of the university, provost, the deans, the president, professors, members of Senate, and distinguished guest lecturers today, other invited guests that are accompanying the guest lecturer of today, the greatest Nigerian students. But you are also lucky that, like others have said, because there is one popular song that is saying everywhere you go, which I also say for you, because you have a product that shows clearly it's a sample of that song, which everybody will continue to imbibe. Àtìgbà táláyé ti dáyé, kò sọ́mọ òòlù tó ṣorí burúkú. Àtìgbà táláyé ti dáyé, kò sọ́mọ òòlù tó ṣorí burúkú. You don't know that song? You know it? Let's sing it again. Àtìgbà táláyé ti dáyé, kò sọ́mọ òòlù tó ṣorí burúkú. They can see that it's a product of that song that I say here today. Virtually everybody on this high table happen to be alumni of this great university. So clap for yourself. And very soon, they are going to join us. They are going to take the pattern from us. They are going to show the world that this is what OU is actually made up for. Is that not? Let me begin by saying that the academic principle is very simple. Every product of this university must have 3 E, and at the time we are leaving the shore of this school. The first one is that you must be employable. 2, you must be employer of labor. And 3, you must be able to further your education. And realizing that aim and objective as stated, we are beginning to go in out there to make the private sectors that knows what you need to have by the time you are living here. And we are beginning to sign agreement with all of them. One of which what I say today, an agreement has already been formed with Cody Somerset, with Cody Farm. You know that during the COVID era, and you know what happened during that pandemic, the man seated here is one of those people that solved the problem in this country and West Africa. That rapid test diagnosis I was usually saying, that they don't put it to your nose, and within 2 minutes, the diagnosis is done. It is for that same person that you are saying. And so today, you are going to listen attentively and see how you can also be impactful into the world around you. I'm very sure that the ritual will have told you that we are trying to introduce a new program into your curriculum, which is pulse sensor. And by the time you start making use of voice sensor, in 1, 2, 3 minutes, you will become a millionaire, and your name will change for good. Because I'm going to be one of those people that are going to change a lot of dynamics that surrounds most of the problem that we have
in black race. For instance, I've already been into that program. I have my research more into that program going forward. And so it's also joining that way in making sure that we realize that dream. Right? And again, we also want you to know that within here, there are so many things that you yourself can establish and start doing. Looking back, you see that many directors of entrepreneurship appointed in this university usually come from the Department of Chemical Sciences. You don't know why. Eh? So I'm telling you today, it's because of what was supposed to do. From the ear to your name, it's all about chemistry. And if you want to make a good innovation out of all the programs that you do, then we'll go back to the source and bring somebody that knows how to do it to come from there. So those people that are also in physics, they can't do anything without chemistry. Because it's all about reaction. Even if they tell you they are making battery, those water in the battery, where does it come from?
From chemistry.
So, if they talk about ions, they want to charge something. Where does that ions come from?
Chemistry.
And if you want to medical school where I am, if you remove hemoglobin from any part of your body, that person is gone. And what is heme come from? Heme is a big one. What is the meaning of heme is iron. And so everything is all about what? Chemistry. If you want a good industry to thrive, go and employ a good chemist, then you know that industry will work. So there's so much lucky to be here today, and I can assure you by the time you leave here, your table will be full. And you'll be able to see for yourself what the future holds for me. Thank you for listening. And on behalf of that department, I hereby declare this lecture open.
Can we put our hands again together for the Departmental of Teaching University, Professor Ayodeji Agbola. Thank you very much, sir. The Vice Chancellor, that distinguished members of the audience, we have now come to the points or the essence of today's gathering, where we have the theme for today's program as key success factor in the 21st century entrepreneurship. To give us the intellectual diet today is a distinguished guest lecturer in our midst. To do the introduction or decide to read the citation of the guest lecturer is Dr. S.T. Yusuf from the Chemical Sciences Department. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Standing on the existing protocol, with your permission, sir, Mr. Vice Chancellor, may I implore the guest speaker to remain standing, to stand up and remain standing while I present the citation. Thank you, sir. Mr. Samson Olubenga Ogunjimi, professionally known as Sammy Ogunjimi, is a Nigerian entrepreneur and a philanthropist. He currently holds the position of the CEO at Codis Pharma Limited, a renowned pharmaceutical company in Nigeria. He graduated from Ogun State University, now known as Olabisi Onabanjo University, in 1987 with a second-class upper degree in BSc Industrial Chemistry. He then proceeded to work at Lagos-based chemical company as a production supervisor before traveling to the United Kingdom in 1990. He completed his MSc in analytical chemistry at the University of Greenwich, London in 1996. He began his pharmaceutical sales career in the UK in 1997 with Pharmacia and Upjohn, now part of Pfizer. Then he also worked at Janssen, Sealab, and finally with Merck Pharmaceutical, all in the United Kingdom, in various roles, including the territory manager, the regional development manager, during which he initiated, with the help of a heart failure nurse consultant at the London Chest Hospital, a diploma course in heart failure management for nurses, level 3 pathway to the degree course at City University, London. And finally, a senior regional business manager, a position he held for 5 years, heading the London business. Mr. Sami returned to Nigeria and established Coldis Pharma Limited in 2008, with the company achieving several remarkable milestones. Notable among these achievements is its collaboration with the Lagos State government in developing the first guideline for diabetes management, along with the introduction of HbA1c testing. Coldis Pharma Limited also became the pioneer in introducing malaria rapid diagnostic test kits to Nigeria, significantly enhancing the nation's ability to promptly diagnose and treat malaria. The success of Coldis Pharma Limited led to the birth of other subsidiary companies across Africa and beyond. We have the likes of Ghana, Sierra Leone, Gambia, Liberia, Zambia, Kenya, Ivory Coast, Cameroon, Guinea-Bissau, Senegal, UAE, and the UK. Employing over 200 staff worldwide. Beyond his contribution to the pharmaceutical sector, Mr. Sami Ogunjimi is the co-founder and executive chairman of Colexa Biosensor Limited, a groundbreaking venture as the first blood glucose strips factory in Nigeria and sub-Saharan Africa. Furthermore, Colexa Biosensor Limited has entered into a memorandum of understanding with Olabisi Onabanjo University for research and human capacity development. In continuation of his commitment to the advancement of healthcare in Nigeria, Mr. Sami has initiated a second project, which is the Coldis Pharma Limited, and it is a joint venture between Coldis Pharma Limited and SD Biosensors, the global leader in RPT manufacture. Coldis Pharma Limited is positioned to be Africa's first WHO pre-qualified factory for the production of rapid diagnostic test kits. This enterprise is poised to greatly benefit Nigeria and the broader African region. In recognition of his contributions to the pharmaceutical industry, Mr. Sami was bestowed with the honorary title of pharmacist and member of the Pharmaceutical Society of Nigeria in 2017. He currently serves as the Vice President of the Nigerian Representatives of Overseas Pharmaceutical Manufacturers, Neuropharm. Mr. Sami actively participates on the boards of numerous companies and organizations, including SAMOG Limited, Ultra Logistics Limited, and the Olabisi Onabanjo University Faculty of Science Alumni Association, OOUFSAA. Notably, he was recently appointed to the management board of Olabisi Onabanjo Teaching Hospital by the Executive Governor of Ogun State Government. He is a dedicated member of the Remo Growth and Development Foundation, Remo GDF, where he takes the helm as the head of the Health Directorate and finally, Chairman Royal Initiative for Development of Shagamu Community. Mr. Samuel Ogunjimi's professional journey stands as a testament to his unwavering commitment to advancing healthcare, fostering innovation, and contributing to the betterment of society. On behalf of the Chemical Sciences Department, under the leadership of Dr. Mrs. Oshobamiro, we want to thank our guest speaker for today, Mr. Sami Ogunji, for honoring our invitation to be the first guest speaker at this Maiden Entrepreneurship lecture themed Key Successes. Key success factors in the 21st century entrepreneurship. It is evident from your wealth of experience that it is in both the private and the public sector that the lecture is going to be an interesting one, and it is going to be fully packed with 21st century information that will assist our students in becoming in the future, in becoming employers of labor rather than job seekers. Mr. Vice Chancellor, sir, the principal officers, the provost and deans, head of department, all professors here present, the distinguished colleagues, the greatest Nigerian students, greatest chemical sciences students, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, it is my pleasure to welcome the guest speaker for today, Mr. Sami Ogunji. Thank you.
Please first permit me to say great Oswites. Because I've been wondering and asking myself, OU, what do they call themselves now? Also, Owites. Okay. Great Owites. First, I would like to tell you how honored and humbled I am to have been invited to come and deliver a lecture here. For me, this is homecoming, as you've heard. Having been part of you here before. And also to celebrate my very dear friend, the Vice Chancellor of Departmental University, Professor Johnson Agola. Because, you know, everything I'm hearing here today is entrepreneurship and stuff like that. That's very uncommon. I have to say to you, not just in Nigeria, you know, even in places where people do it, they don't put it in everything that they do, and they say the way I've seen it today. So I celebrate you, sir. I would also like to recognize the Deputy Vice Chancellor of Academics. Thank you so much, Mark, for all that you're doing here for us. I'd like to recognize the Registrar, the Dean, who has taken me around your campus this morning. You know, he took me around and showed me all the beautiful things that you guys are enjoying that we never enjoyed. Thank you so much, sir. And of course, you know, there's so many people that I would like to recognize, but I can't do without recognizing my board that is here. I don't know whether you guys know that I'm from Shagamu. My dear boy here, the professor, you guys know the father of chemistry here, Professor Oguso, is a very dear, very close to me. Thank you so much. Other professors, the Professor Babaride, Professor Adeyemi, I celebrate all of you, and the provost, the deans, the directors, the heads of departments, I celebrate all of you. But if you permit me, I'd like to finally rest on my appreciation to the head of departments, Dr. Oshobamiro, for inviting me, for even putting this together. You know, when I leave here today, I'll be saying to a lot of people that there's a lot of things that are cooking here at OOU that people do not do. You know, and I appreciate all the efforts that you're putting in. Sometimes As you guys will all know, there is people, it's easy to spread bad news, but good news are usually very scarce. You know, people don't really talk so much about the good news. And I celebrate all the students. I see the energy in the room. Now, I can also say to you that you guys are probably better students than we were then. When you celebrate your lecturers, you know, it's very comfortable. And I think that is I would also like to recognize my colleagues from the office. Colleagues is, okay, yes, the vision may have been started or hacked by one person, okay? But there are people that make all these things possible. I'd like to ask, if you do not mind, Mary to stand up. Mary is our Executive Director of Marketing. She also wears a hat as the Managing Director of our office in Sierra Leone. And she's been part of Golden's for a very long time. And I also would like to recognize Ellie, if you can please stand up. Ellie is our head of sales. Now, Ellie, I met Ellie whilst working in America in the UK, and we brought him to Nigeria. You know, to come and work in Nigeria. And of course, Ms. Tolu Etu, who also is an ex-student of this university. You know, Tolu is in charge of our brand communications and CSR. She just returned from the UK, finished her MBA in the UK to set up the department. And of course, I also have my colleague here, my PA, Kule Udubono. Thank you guys for supporting me and coming in here. I think everybody, ladies and gentlemen, I thank you for the opportunity to come here, to come back to this great university, to share my own personal experience, to encourage all of you that there's nothing that you cannot do. So I'm not very good at using slides and stuff like that, but they'll be putting the slides up, and I'll try my best to talk through the slides, but most importantly, I would like to engage you guys to tell you a little bit about the gifts that God has placed inside every one of you, everybody, without any exception, and how to discover those gifts as quickly as possible, and how to believe so much in yourself, how to dream and dream very, very big, and so that when you leave, after you've done your course and you leave, that you will have a lot of confidence in yourself that there is nothing that you cannot achieve, because everything starts from there. Okay? So, thank you so much. So, Mr. Technical Man, thank you so much. If you can just help me and put the slides up. Now let's go to the next one. I also think the title has been well chosen, talking about, you know, the first time I came back to this, you know, the main campus was when Professor Agola was giving his inaugural lecture here. And this place was well packed, and coincidentally, he was talking about things that we discuss all the time in our office. Why African drugs, African diagnostics, things that are important for Africans will have to be done and discovered by Africans for Africans, rather than things that are being discovered in the Western world, and we are trying to use them. And then we wonder why they don't really work for us as much as the agos, the herbs, all those things that our great-great-grandfathers used to take, and they were living a lot longer. So that was my first time. And I think the second time that we came here was to discuss this MOU that the Vice Chancellor was talking about. And I'm so pleased to be back here again, and able to know more about the uni now. I see a lot of beautiful buildings. When we were here, we were they call it mini campus now. So that was our main campus at the time. Okay, and you know, and to be back and see the development that is there, it's awesome. And I just thank the efforts of everyone, the lecturers. You know, we can't be who we are without the academians. You know, it's I don't think lecturers are celebrated enough, teachers are not celebrated enough. So if all the students can stand up And please let me clap for all your lecturers here once more, please. Thank you. Please. Thank you for doing that. Thank you. Okay. Can we go to the first slide, please? Okay. Now, some things have been said about Holy Summer, and I just think I should just say a little bit about our company at the start. That's where our head office is in Lagos. If you can just quickly move on. Holy Summer was started in 2008, shortly after I left Merck. And now we're in all those countries that you see, and those numbers are fast growing. We have highly dedicated team, a lot of young, vibrant staff that are doing wonders, and we have so many products in the market. What makes us different from others is some pharmaceutical companies only just do drugs alone, sometimes ethical drugs or what you call the curative medicine drugs. In our own company, we do 4 different types of products that we do. So we do the curative drugs, we also do preventive drugs, so that will make 2. And we also now do medical devices, which you can divide into 2. And you're going to be hearing a lot about some of these things because you probably know them, but you don't really pay a lot of attention to them. So your medical devices, there are the biosensors, the one that read, that you have meters that you can read. And then there are the rapid diagnostic test kits, the one that they don't need any machine at all to operate, and then you don't need electricity to operate, okay? So that is the spectrum of the products that we do, and that makes us very, very unique. I can say to you that globally there are probably 2 or 3 other companies that have that sort of business model as ours. Maybe Roche, Abbott, and maybe Novo Nordisk. Those are the only sort of companies that have this spectrum of products. So having that balance, it means that we try to prevent having illness to start with. We have drugs to treat them, but most importantly, we have products that can diagnose quickly. Because if you don't know what is wrong with you, you probably will not be able to treat them effectively. Okay? If you can move on to, and then from importing some of those products, partnering with innovative products. We used to represent Abbott in Nigeria, Abbott Diagnostics, and we also now do SD Biosensor. We decided to backward integrate all those 4 different areas that I've spoken about. Our intention is to have factories to locally manufacture all those products that we used to import, or that we are probably still importing now. So starting with the first factory, the Polenta Biosensor that's been spoken about in the Lupeji Industrial Avenue. Now this factory is very unique because diabetes is a disease that is growing everywhere in the world, not just in Africa. And to diagnose diabetes effectively or to monitor, you need the blood glucose meter and the strips. And it occurred to us that when we came that this product was actually not manufactured at all in Africa. And so most of them are imported. And so we embarked on a journey to manufacturing. Once we were on that journey, because of limited funds, then the company started in Africa before us in Algeria. So we're number 2 in Africa, and the first one in Sub-Saharan Africa. And the product that is coming from there, we're proud to say that it is probably made in Nigeria for the African community. You know, so it's something that we are really, really proud of for ourselves. Okay? And as we speak, we are also beginning the construction of a rapid diagnostic factory in Nigeria. The one that would have the products will be WHO pre-qualified. What that means is that the products can be exported anywhere in the world, not just for the Nigerian community. And I'm also happy to announce to you that it's going to be in Ogun State, and it will be in Remo, where I'm from, you know, and we are hoping that by the end of next year, that also will be commissioned, you know, and that drive continues like that to backward integrate. Please, if you can go to. So that then brings me back to what we are here today to talk about. Okay? It's very, very simple. Entrepreneurship is a process of identifying, creating, and pursuing opportunities to develop new products, services, or business with the aim of generating profit and creating value. The two words that I want you to take from here is that you cannot say you are an entrepreneur, okay, if you are not creating value. You have to create value and you must make profit. Even the NGOs that they say is not for profit, they still balance their accounts because they have to look for funds and be able to pay salaries of people. Okay, and mostly you don't want to do that and still be having a negative balance in your account. You still want to have some people that that is positive. Okay, and much more for a business. If you are an entrepreneur, you must create value, and then that value you must also make sure that it is profitable. If it's not profitable, it is not a business. Okay, I want you to remember that. And these are individuals who take on the risk and responsibility associated with initiating and managing a business venture. It means that everybody can be an entrepreneur. As a matter of fact, everybody is an entrepreneur because if you know how to manage money for students, when you are given pocket money, in fact, when you are looking for money to do things that you want, looking for money from your parents, from your uncles, wherever you get it, to be able to manage it until the period that you have set for yourself. You understand? And hoping that people, maybe even at the end of the month, you still have something left. You become a business manager yourself because you know how to manage money. Okay? Some people will say that God talks to them. Okay? And I want to let you know today that God speaks to everybody. Now, I don't think it's the way that you will sit down and God will say, Sammy, how many times have I called you? Not that way. It's my own belief that every good thing that comes to your heart, when you're thinking about something that is good, that is God actually speaking to you. Okay? And the same way, when you're having a bad thoughts, you understand, you know that is not from God, that is from Satan. Can we all agree on that? At least. So when you have good thoughts that is coming to you, good thoughts about something, about a subject, you understand? We can assume that is God talking to us. Okay? And usually when you have that, you also then have fear about that thing that you have just received. Or sometimes you can look at yourself and say, I have faith about what I've received and I need to do something about it. Somewhere in between that is the calling that you have. And when you really look at it, you will see that there are deposits that you already have inside of you. There are gifts that is placed inside everybody. And as you are speaking, as all of us are sitting here, we all have gifts inside of us that sometimes are very unique to us. Okay? The question is how quickly you are able to connect with that gift. When God is speaking to you, how quickly do you listen to God and really do something about it and connect with the gifts that you have? That is all that matters. I can assure you that. So very, very quickly, think about those good thoughts that you are having. Very good thoughts. And usually those thoughts are about creating value, about doing something that others can benefit from. And when you connect with that, that is the beginning of your true essence, the true reason why you are living. Okay? And that's what some people call vision. They say, I have a vision about something. And if you don't have a vision about something, you can't create something that you have not visualized. And that's why I respect a lot the architects. Architects are people that you will tell, you give an idea to, and then they will draw a building. And then before you know it, they assemble different builders, they assemble different people, and then you see that building in reality. That is the way it is. So when you have a vision about what you want to do, that thing that God is telling you about all the time, and you then decide to do something about it, to make a business out of it, you become an entrepreneur. You become an entrepreneur because you are creating value, and because it is a business,
it has to be profitable. So it means there are so many things in between that you have to do. So you have an idea, that idea will benefit people. The question then is, how can I turn that idea into a business that is profitable? So that is a journey. And there are so many skills that you learn. Thank God for all that you have learned in the university and the opportunity to have some people like us that have been through that journey to come and talk to you, so that we can share some of these things with you. So it's one thing to have knowledge. It's another one to have skills, to have experience of things in life. Okay? So if you can quickly move to the next slide. Now, for chemistry, for all of us, I'm very proud. I tell everybody all the time, I'm in the pharmaceutical industry. I've spent most of my life in the pharmaceutical industry. But I'm not a pharmacist. Even with the honorary pharmacist award that they gave to me, I'm still a chemist and a very proud chemist. When I went through industrial chemistry, how many industrial chemistry students are here? Oh, you guys are plenty. During the whole time, only 6. It was a very tough time, Professor Amaride will testify to it. Just about 6 of us, and there was no course that we did not do. We did economics, business management, geology, metallurgical engineering, chemical engineering. There was nothing that we did not do. But when we were doing those courses, apart from the fact that we were enjoying it, because we were 6, we were very close. We didn't know that this is actually the life of a chemist, because there is nowhere that you reach out turn that you will not see anything that is chemistry. You understand? And you sort of mold you very well into who you are. But I set out to do R&D, research and development. That was what I wanted to do. I wanted to work in a lab, researching drugs. Okay? And that's what took me to do my analytical chemistry master's in analytical chemistry. But then quickly I realized that actually I could do better than that. Apart from just researching drugs, I'm actually very good at selling. If you guys give me 3-4 hours to keep on talking today, I won't know when to stop. And I didn't know I had that before inside of me. Okay, so I'm a very, very good salesperson. In Nigeria is the only place where you will say, are you a salesperson? No, I'm not a salesperson, I'm a marketer. But we'll come back to that later, because there's a big difference between sales and marketing. And actually, marketing is fantastic, but sales is the one that brings the money to the company. So we adore them a lot in colleagues. And so when you graduate, there are different areas that you can go to. Either even during that time or even now, academia, very, very important. What we don't do in Nigeria is there is too much gap between the academia and the industry. Okay? But in developed countries, you can't even have new products. You cannot innovate anything without the academia. It's not possible. Because the ideas will come from there. They know more than even the industrialists themselves. Okay? So ideas come from academia, mixed together with people that can put money. Because even if you have the greatest ideas in this world, if you don't have money to actualize those things, it will not be possible. So there has to be this closeness that we're beginning to see now between the academia and the industry. And I'm really pleased that my own university where I've left is the one that is championing this. And when your vice chancellor talked about this new, this new idea, this new initiative that we're hoping to join and to do together with OU, it's not, it will be the first, it will not just be the first in Nigeria, it will be the first in West Africa, probably the first in Africa. And last month when I was in the UK and I was at I was at Cranfield University and we were discussing this. There was another senior lecturer at the university. When we started talking about it, she had an even bigger idea. And she said she's looking forward to Cranfield University signing an MOU separately with the university, with OU. So take this to another level. Okay? And I'm hoping that the only thing she said is that might not, because when they do that, might not start from January, but that you should be looking at maybe next summer for something to happen from that. So there are huge opportunities, and you'll be the first in Africa the first definitely in Nigeria. And some of the courses, the new courses that we're talking about, the subjects, when you start hearing about them, you will see that, in fact, one of the challenges we have in the industry is not having people with experience, not even experience, the knowledge of these sorts of new technologies, and it's really frustrating. And we're hoping that once these courses start, it will be easier for us to be able to employ people or students that have some of those knowledge into the industry. And R&D is also extremely important, because from academia, naturally, you should move into R&D. In fact, R&D, like I said, starts from the uni. And so the more R&D that universities get to do now will also help to solve a lot of problems for people. And that's where innovations will come from. And then the entrepreneurs will come, people that have money will now turn that and make it big. So the pilots usually take place within the universities. Okay? And I'm sure that is what your Vice Chancellor is trying to do here. And of course, there are opportunities for new technology, and we're going to talk more about new technology very, very soon. Gone are the days where drugs are just researched from, should I say, maybe before from plants, and now maybe you have now from petrochemicals and stuff like that. There's a fusion between artificial intelligence and even all those things that used to take place before, so that you can get drugs down to the market quicker than we ever were able to do. And finding vaccines for COVID was a typical example of that. And even since that happened, more vaccines are now coming to the market faster than we ever thought it was possible before. Please, next slide, please. So, I've talked about there are so many different industries, and I'm sure you guys know that where a chemist can work. There's no way that a chemist cannot work. When I left and I did my youth service, the first place I worked was a company that was trying to make plaster of Paris, the POP in Nigeria. And from gypsum, which was readily available, and my geology experience that I did, so also helped, in doing that. I was just about 22, going to 23 when I did that, but I mentioned some of them here. Pharmaceuticals, so you can come out and you should be very proud to apply to any pharmaceutical company. Even when you apply to the pharmaceutical company, you see there are different areas in the pharmaceutical industry where you can work. We'll also touch on that a little bit. There are regulatory affairs. These are people that register the product with NAFDAC, so they do the regulatory aspects of the product. There are compliances, there is marketing, which, for example, that Mary is heading, and then there is sales, there is production, and of course there is R&D. So I mentioned before, so let me quickly touch on that. The difference between sales and marketing. Sales, or should I say marketing? Marketing is those will be the activities that are done regarding even what products are we going to sell. How much is the product going to be for? Who are we selling the products to? What message are we giving to the customers and so on? Those are marketing. Okay? But the sales is the conversion of that product down to money. When you go to tell people about the products and you collect money back. So you can see that both of them are very important. Okay? And you should be very proud, even when you apply for pharmaceutical sales or medical rep, we call it, because you are the one that is bringing money to the company. Okay? Also there is biotechnology, and there are different areas there, molecular biologists, bioprocess scientists, quality assurance specialists. In fact, I think we should have added also quality assurance on the side of pharmaceutical there also. There is petrochemicals, there are petroleum chemists, process chemists, environmental chemists, there is refinery chemists, environmental specialists. Please, you can just go to the next slide. There is education, like I mentioned, curriculum developer, researchers, lecturers, textile chemists. When I did my own COS, we used to call it just industrial attachment at that time. I did that at a textile company called 5 Star in Solo. I'm not sure whether I don't think they exist anymore now. Okay? Quality control inspector, research and development also in textile, agriculture, agrochemist, soil scientist, crop production specialist, food and beverage, food chemist, flavor chemist, quality control, so many. You know, the list goes on and on. Okay? So, you're coming out and be thinking there are no jobs. I can say to you from being an employer of labor, we don't have enough staff. The only problem is there are not very good employees. Okay? And so, I'm hoping that even by the time we finish today, when you are writing your CV, you will write it differently. You will write it as somebody who does not know what he or she wants. Okay? Because that's very, very important. Because your CV is the first thing that will attract people. And all the attachments, you know, sometimes when you interview people, let me just quickly say this, you know, because these are some of the errors that we do. You know, they will ask you whether you have sales experience, whether you have this experience. We're too quick to say that we don't have those sorts of experience. If I ask in this room now, even for the students, and I say, how many of you have sales experience? How many of you will be able to raise up your hands? Sales experience. Okay, I see few hands, maybe about 10% of you. But the actual fact is, all of you, you have sold one time or the other. Okay, let me give you an example. If you are in a house where you are 1 out of 2 or maybe 1 out of 5 children, your parents will only have a fixed amount of money that they have every month, and when you are trying to get that money for your parents to give you that money that you want and to give it to you and prioritize you before the other 4 or 5 or 6 people in your family, you have to sell to your parents the importance of why they should give you that money. True or false? And so when somebody asks you whether you have sold, your first answer must be, I sell all the time. The only difference is I may not have sold your product, but I sell to my parents all the time. I put across my line of argument. When you are trying to win an argument with your friends, you are selling your idea to that your friend so that your friend can come to your own way of thinking. That is selling. So those are little things. You know, so if there's an advert that says only people with experience should apply, most of you will not apply. And you're already shortchanging yourself by not doing that because you are salespeople. Everybody sells. Okay? The same thing with marketing. If you can conceptualize ideas, you can put something down. And they say you have marketing experience. They say, maybe not in your industry, but I do have marketing experience. Some of you belong to clubs, some of you belong to you do different activities in the university. You have to look at, reflect on those things that you do, and when you are putting together your CV or your letter, use those things that you do as part of the things that you put out. And before you know it, you have more people interested in you and wanting to meet with you. Okay? So, I'm going to focus more on the pharma industry because this is the area, this is my own forte, this is the area that I know more. I've talked about the curative drugs, the therapeutics. So you have the curative medicine, you have the preventive medicine. The curative medicines are maybe your antidiabetic, antihypertensives, drugs for oncology, different drugs like that. And the preventive medicines are like your supplements, the vitamins C, vitamins D, things that will help to prevent those diseases in you in the first instance, you know, and I'm sure all of us would rather not have the disease. You understand, you know, so that's the preventive health. So those are areas within the pharma industry as I alluded to before. You then have the diagnostics. I also mentioned about the medical devices. They call them in vitro diagnostics. All of them, the medical devices and the RDTs are all under IVD, in vitro diagnostics. Okay? And under that you have your BP monitors, the blood glucose meter, not the straight, the blood glucose meter, anything that has a meter that you can read, all come under medical devices. Okay? And then of course, you have your rapid diagnostic test kits. There's a lot of drive these days now to rapid diagnostic test kits. Very soon, there's a project that we were working on and we're planning to, we would have done with the OU, where from just urine, just take one sample of urine, you can predict whether somebody is going to have cancer in the next 5 years. And not just for one cancer, there are a series of cancer. Those sort of test kits are coming. And they are all based on this new technology we're talking about, the in vitro diagnostics. Okay? And those are the things that are coming. And by having this sort of courses introduced already at the university, will already open your eyes to what the future is looking like. Okay? And what is possible with some of these technologies. Please. I already mentioned regulatory affairs. So, if you, right now in Nigeria, if you join a pharmaceutical company, it's when you probably first hear about regulatory affairs. Some people don't even know those are jobs. Because if you want to register a product with NAFDAC, somebody has to put together the dossier, the science behind it, you understand, that you now take to NAFDAC to register the product. So that's a job on its own. And I heard that even NAFDAC is going to start doing a training program or regulatory now, even at university level, you know, in the course of pharmacy degree. Okay, so you probably will see that. So that encompasses the application, the submitting of it, the approvals, the pharmacovigilance, and you know, so many things that can take place under regulatory. And so, as a student, you need to start asking yourself, you know, which one do I like? Which area do I like? Which area would I succeed at? What's God telling me? What's my mind telling me? You know, about some of these things that we're talking about today. Okay? Can we go to the next one, please? Okay, I mentioned marketing before. Marketing is very, you know, if you are the type that is very creative, you come up with different ideas about how to message things, how to, some of you spend a lot of time writing things on Instagram, you use your social media for fun. And there are people that know how to write content, even on social media, that can make money from that. So if you are creative like that, creative minded and you want to work in the pharmaceutical industry, maybe this is an area for you, you understand, you know, for you to start thinking about. And if marketing is really your thing, there are courses also. I heard yesterday that to do Chartered Institute of Marketing course. How many of you have heard of Chartered Institute of Marketing course? Chartered Institute of Marketing. You are a chemist. But that does not stop you from taking courses in marketing. Because if you are a chemist, people know the knowledge that you already have, the requisite knowledge that you have. But when you come to the industry, like pharmaceutical, there are more jobs in sales, followed by marketing and regulatory. You understand? Okay? And in order to make yourself to understand more the marketing aspect, so that you can combine it together with your chemistry that you learned, there are short courses that you can do. There are courses, professional courses that you can do, like CIM, Chartered Institute of Marketing. Someone told me that you need to have 2 years experience before you can join. But it never used to be like that before. But then, all the CWEs that you are doing, all the experience that you have, put them there that you have those experience. You understand? And still apply. Okay? Also, sales. You know, sales, like I told you, there is, in fact, in pharma companies, salespeople earn more than anybody else because they are the ones that bring the money in. Even if you have the products and the products are not been sold and converted to money, the company can make profit. Okay? So don't be afraid. Sales, there are more sales jobs. And you know, in Nigeria, some people will say it's only pharmacists that can sell drugs. I challenge them and say, who makes that particular drug? You understand? It's the chemist that discovers the drugs, it's the chemist that decides the drugs. So who is best to sell the drugs than the chemist? You understand? But we're changing that. Because even in the industry, I'm proud to tell you that we're separating the industry from pharmacy. Let pharmacy profession be separate. The pharmaceutical industry, let it be separate, because we are the owners of those products originally. So this only talks about building relationship with healthcare professionals, delivering the product information that have been put together by the marketing people, and delivering them, and talking about the benefits, and of course, it's also about achieving sales targets. When you achieve sales targets, you get a lot of products. Okay? And so sales people usually get more products in the pharmaceutical industry than anybody else in the industry. And you manage distribution and supply chain. Even within the industry itself, there is what you call supply chain department. The people that receive orders, the people that send out the goods, the people that manage the inventory within the company. Okay, and who is best to manage the inventory? Who is best to take the products in and to sell the products out? You understand? If not somebody that knows the product itself. So you guys are really well placed. And meeting patients' needs while adhering to ethical standards. Also, in some companies, like I said, you have the CSR part, where you give back, the brand communications as we just spoken about. Can we go to the next slide, please? Okay, now there is also production. This one is what happens within the factory itself. Okay, so when this is for people that want to work in different aspects of production, it can be quality assurance, quality control, it can actually be actual production itself of the products. So there are so many roles that you also can find within the university. We've started taking students from this university now, to do CWES with us. I think we have about 6 people working. And what we are trying to do in our company is to make them to go through all the different departments so that they will find one that they really like, so that hopefully by the time they finish university, they already have an idea where they would like to work. Okay, and that process is ongoing. So we have the first set of people, to ensure the quality and the safety of the products by complying with the good manufacturing practice, efficient management of resources, scaling production to meet demand. These are all the activities that take place within the pharmaceutical industry, especially the production. Okay, next one please. Okay, now this one is especially when it comes to building your career and getting a mentor. I shared this in the office last week, and I said most young people these days have mentors, yes, but most of the mentors they have are the social media mentors. You understand? The influencers. Okay? And I'm not sure whether that is the same here because you guys are very serious minded people. But the best people to mentor you are who? Your lecturers. Your lecturers, your parents. Some of you don't even listen to your parents, but you listen to somebody outside. You understand? Your lecturers that have spent a lot of time to train you, to give you knowledge, will have your back. Your parents that are investing in you will have your back. You understand? So always make sure you have a mentor. You have somebody that understands you, not somebody that has his or her own agenda. You understand? And you are saying somebody, you are following a mentor who has their own agenda. You understand, and so have a mentor as quickly as possible. If it's somebody that when you have those ideas that are spoken about, somebody that you can run those ideas by, to say, I'm thinking about this. These thoughts keep coming back to me. And I know these thoughts will address this problem, So you share it with somebody. Let me tell you what happens, if you are unlucky, you share thoughts like that with me. Okay? I say you're unlucky because I will constantly ask you about those things that you have told me to make sure that you do them. So there's a difference between people that have ideas and people that actually do those ideas. And that's the difference between people that, I told you that God speaks to everybody, but the ones that succeed are the ones that have the ideas and they actually do something about it and they move the idea forward. So a lot of people have ideas and they never move the ideas forward. And in moving the ideas forward, you're going to have a lot of challenges. So in my office, for example, I encourage everybody to make mistakes. Make mistakes because even me as your MP, I'm making mistakes every day. You understand? But don't make mistakes that you have made before yesterday and say you are sorry. You understand? And if you have a mentor, don't make mistakes that your mentors have made before. That's the reason why you have mentors. So that you don't make the mistakes that they made. So you make a new mistake that nobody else has made before. So it's very important to have mentors. And get training. During our own time, we'll be glad to work for free. Just to have training. As a matter of fact, even in the UK these days, okay, it doesn't matter what you have studied. Even if you have PhD and all that, if you do not have experience, you might not be able to attract the jobs that you really want. And so, get training. I know that in Nigeria these days, we're looking for money. Okay? Money is good. But what you need after knowledge is skill. When you have skill, the money will come. Everybody has gone quiet. Okay? But trust me when I say this, you understand? You know, money will always come. If you have an idea, because God's given you ideas, and you stick by it, you finish your school, you get the training that you require. You understand? And you get the job. All that money that you're talking about, that money will come later. Okay? So there are opportunities. The university does one, which is the CWES, encouraging you guys to have some work experience, which is the skills. Internships, volunteer, look for opportunities to network people. Look for opportunities to network people. And this sort of platform that you're having today is fantastic for you also, because you get to hear more things, more information. You know, everywhere that you are, I encourage you to always carry a book with you, an exercise book, and write it down. When you hear something that is new, you write it down. The people that do it best globally are the Chinese and the Koreans. Even if you cough and they are in a meeting, they write it down. That this person coughed when he was saying this, and then they go and think about the reason why you coughed when you said that particular thing that you said. You understand? Because as much information that you gather, it's that information that you gather that will help you. You know, so you gather information in school as part of the knowledge, you gather information in the workplace as part of the skills, and you gather information through networking. Okay? Freelance. You know, okay. I will say to you that there are people that you see in this room, okay, in this room here from my office, that when they joined our company was small at that time. I couldn't even tell you how much they were earning at that time. But they are big people now, they are earning big money. You understand? But when they first joined, they didn't join just for the money. You understand? You know, but the more skills you have, there's no company that will want to lose any good employee. So in our own office, there's a way you look at talents. So when you see talents, people that are smart, people that have the right attitude, people that really want to do well, you keep them. Even if you feel that, I even do lectures in my office about Japa. I know in this room, some of you are thinking when I'm reading this course, I'm going to run away. You understand? Okay? And I talk to them in my office, especially those ones that I know that are important to the company. I take my time to explain the difference between Japa and people like us and him, that Japada. You understand? Okay? And I explain to them very, very quickly that if I ask people in this room now to say, if you are really broke, and they ask you to go and be washing dishes, and they will give you money, you will say never, over my dead body. But when you go abroad, when you are in school, the dozen dishes, even the dishes that are small smelly, that are very smelly, you will gladly do them. Okay? Africa is a place that is blessed. Nigeria is a country that is blessed. It's just that some people that look more, they only look and they don't see. And some people, they see opportunities all the time. There are opportunities everywhere. If you are in Ogun State and you pass and you come from Lagos to Shagamu or to Remo, some of you are passing that road all the time. You are thinking about the traffic, you are thinking about other things. You don't look around and see what is happening. People are coming from abroad to invest in Nigeria. And those investments are coming. And when they invest, they need employees, they need staff. And you are carrying yourself to go and wash dishes for the next 3 or 4 years before you now get a proper job. And by the time you get that proper job, of course, you get married, you become married. And that's a story for another day. If you invite me back, I'll come and tell you about Japa and Japada. So that some of you will understand that what you are looking for in Sokoto is right in the pocket of your Sokoto. I'm an example of Japa and Japada. And I can tell you that my life is more fulfilled since I returned back to Nigeria. Absolutely. Without any doubt. As a matter of fact, I can't lie to you that I did not cry when I first got there. When I first got there, I saw reality, I cried. But fear and not the money that we have put together to send me there. You have to come back. If I come back, people will say, you know, Father, I should go. Okay? So there are lots of opportunities, so please let's go. Okay, so we'll just look at some of the key success factors for entrepreneur. I'm not saying that it is easy. Even the Bible talks about challenges in life. As a matter of fact, if you have never experienced challenge or challenges in your life, you can never go to another level. It's not possible. To some of you, it's easy to study and pass. To some of you, you have to work extra hard to pass. Okay? But everybody that works at it will always overcome and go to the next step. So, the first one is the ability to see opportunities. When you, I'll tell you a story, and I shared this story in the office, I think on Monday, or was it yesterday? Yesterday. A story is told of two families. Those two families put their members of their families in their cars. And they were looking for a new town, a new settlement, a new area where they want to live. So they get to, the first family got to where you have them, where they say, welcome to so town. Okay. So there was a man that was there that was gardening and doing a bit of gardening and planting things at that gate. So the first family came, they drove there, and they met the man, they said, excuse me, sir, we're looking for a new town where we want to settle. In this town, are there good people in this town? So the man looked at them and said, where you are coming from, are there good people there? And he said, there are so many bad people there. Everything there was bad. And the man said, unfortunately for you, in this town also there are bad people. So they got into their car and they drove off. The second family came, got to that same gate, and then met the same man. And asked that man and said, please sir, we're looking for a town where we want to live. And the man said, the same question. He said, where you are coming from? Are there good people in that place where you are coming from? And those guys said, there are fantastic people, good people in that place where we are coming from. The only reason why we are living is our child is starting school somewhere here, not too far here, and we want to move closer to the school. And the man said, in this town also, there are good people in this town. And they drove and went back in. The point I'm making is this, that in every society, you always see what you are looking for. If you look at Nigeria now, somebody says, Nigeria, what do you see? Some of you will say there's no light. Some of you will say there are 419, there are bandits, there is Boko Haram. That's all that you will say. You forget to talk about, for example, this university, how beautiful the university is. You forget to talk about even your own family, the fantastic family that you have, the culture that we have in Africa, the sort of good food that we have in Africa, the good weather that we have in Africa, all the beautiful things. Even you will not talk about Ikoyi, you will not talk about banana, you will be talking about all the bad things that are happening. The truth of the matter is, are you lying? You are not lying. There are bad things. Trust me, in America, some of you still go to America when they shoot every time, but does it mean that everybody in America gets killed? No. As a matter of fact, more people get killed in those wars than in Africa. You understand? But when people talk about Nigeria, the only thing that you think about is negative. So, learn to see opportunities, something that is good. Recognize what is not good. It doesn't mean that you're not lying, you're not saying they don't exist, but have your own focus on what is important, the opportunities that are there. Okay? The quicker you start to do this, the more you will see that everything that you are looking for, God has already provided. Look for the opportunities. Number two, don't focus on too many things. One, you don't even have the money, the ability to focus on too many things. Focus on that one that is important, the one that God keeps telling you all the time, that is good. Those good thoughts that are coming to your mind, focus on them very, very quickly. The quicker you do this, is the difference between when you start to make money in life, whether it's in your 50s or your 60s, or you start to do it in your 20s. Okay? Be intentional about those thoughts that are coming to you. Now put everything that you have into it. your time, your resources. When you have money, don't think about iPhone. I don't know what the latest iPhone is first. You understand? iPhone 15. Okay, some people will know it. You understand? So me, I don't use iPhone. And I don't check my phone every year. Okay? But you'll be surprised that some people, when their focus is things that really do not matter. So you focus, you put everything, your time, your resources, your thoughts, put it in those things that matter to you. And those things will benefit mankind because God created everybody to be of value to another person. Okay? And you will have challenges because you will make mistakes. In fact, in our office, there is a saying that says that only the people that make mistakes provide opportunities for people that do not want to make mistakes. You understand? So when you make mistakes, the people that don't want to make mistakes will end up working for people that make mistakes. You understand? So making mistake is fantastic, but don't make mistake that you have made before, or mistake that you know somebody that has made them. Then you become stupid. Okay? And you get to be persistent, overcome all the obstacles. Even the Bible talks about all things work together for those that love God. Have you? Now the Bible does not lie. When the Bible talks about all things, the all things there is the good, the bad, the ugly of life. And the good, the bad, the ugly of life will happen to everybody. You understand? But at the end of the day, because you will overcome, it will be for your good. That's one thing. You have to build a team because you cannot do it by yourself alone. So the way you've been identifying yourself, you need to start identifying talents. You need to understand that it's not everything that you can do, and put the right people in the right positions to make things happen. Let me give you an example. If you have a great idea, and the idea requires 10 naira, and then you have the idea, you only have 2 naira. Okay, you can wait until you have 10 naira. Sometimes that can take so long. Or you can come and partner with somebody that also has 5 naira, who is an accountant. Meanwhile, you are a scientist. You understand? And then by the two of you coming together, now you have a scientist, you have an accountant, and you have 7 naira. Okay? So you can also build a team in terms of actualizing whatever it is that you want to do as quickly as possible. Very important. I wouldn't even go to delaying gratification first. I go to dreaming big. There is no idea that is too big, provided you can see it. Okay? There are dreamers, okay, who dream things that they cannot see. But when you dream about something that you can visualize and see, that is not a waste of time. In fact, the bigger the dream is, the bigger it is for you, the bigger will be the reward. And I said that, at the beginning I talked about faith and fear. Okay? There's a fear. The fear of, I can't do this. So there are some people, you say to them, can you do this? The first thing they will say is, I can't do it. With their own mouth, they are confessing that they can't do it. And because they have confessed with their mouth, they will not do it. And there are some people, everything you tell them, they are very optimistic about life. You say, yes, I can. Then after they say, yes, I can, they come to you and say, can you teach me how to do it? But the most important thing is that they've said to themselves that they can. And you can do all things. There's nothing that you cannot do. Because God did not create and bring you into this world to not achieve things. Okay? So dream big. Let the dream be big. In fact, let that dream be big enough that you have a fear. But that fear is not the fear of you don't want to do it. It's the fear of, this thing, I need God inside of it. Do you understand? Okay? So there's a place where faith and fear works together. And there's a place where fear is definitely from Satan. The fear of not being able to do anything. Okay? And then you delay gratification. Delayed gratification means that it's not the first money that you make. The first thing you want to do, you make the first profit, bam, you buy a car. Okay? I tell you that when we started COVID, a little bit about my story, my own history that most people did not know. I've always been a salesperson. Even in my 20s, I sold car, I sold second-hand fridge, freezer. I put them in a container, I bring them to Nigeria. I started selling trailer. In fact, I started selling trailer before the age of 29. You understand? But then those were trades. They were not real business. Before I now started doing proper business. Okay? And when we started Codex, I had a car. My first car, I gave it to a salesperson to drive. Me, I was taking transport, public transport. And then we bought 3 cars. We gave the cars again to the salespeople. The reason why we're giving the cars to the salespeople is because they're the ones that will bring the money. Me, I can easily just take transport, public transport, and go home. I had my first car in Codex after the company already had 15 cars. But I'm not personal car. And don't forget, I have done it before. Before, I used to drive those cars where you put foreign plates on your car. You know, when you are small. But that was then. But when you want to do this sort of business, you have to delay gratification. You cannot spend your seed. There's a seed. There's the one that you spend from the harvest. And if you keep on spending all your harvest, you will never have seed again to plant. Okay? And then finally, on this, have a goal. When you have a goal, and I told you before, communicate that goal. When you communicate that idea that you have, you are doing 2 things. You are telling people to hold you to account. Okay? I just told you now that by December next year, we'll be commissioning another factory, this time in Shagamu. Yeah? Now, I've shared it to everybody in this room will hear. So next time when you are looking at code, you are thinking, are they commissioning that thing in December? Let people say that we don't commission it in December, we commission it the January after. You will still celebrate with us. But by telling you that I'm going to do it in December, I'm telling everybody I'll do it in December, all my mind, all my thoughts will be towards achieving that thing by the end of that period. Okay? This is the secret of any successful person. They say they want to do something. They tell people, don't be the people that will say, don't tell people your secrets. You don't have to tell your competitors, but that would be stupid, right? But tell people that have your people that you know will encourage you. People that will ask you to say, that book you said you wanted to write, have you written it? Okay? So tell somebody about it, communicate. And to your team, if you're a leader, you're an entrepreneur, and you have a team, your team must know where you're going. Because if they don't know where you're going, they will not follow you. They will be resigning all the time. Okay? And this starts from even your family. From your family must know the direction you are going. Every year in my own house, we write a plan every year. A family plan. And I can't do a family plan without including our business. Because the business is part of family, trust me. You understand? In my office, we don't do work-life balance. Because we enjoy the work that we do so much that becomes part of our life. The only thing we tell ourselves is make sure you rest so that you can give your best to the job. Okay? Please, let's go. Okay. And it's also very important that even as a visionary, as an entrepreneur, that you create more leaders. Because you haven't come into this world just to have some ideas. There is only you that will have those ideas and you die with the ideas. Okay? You must learn to have a succession plan. You must learn to create new leaders. So there are people, like I said, that have joined police in the last 10 years. Some of them are now directors. Okay? And we're getting to a place where even if I die, the prayer is that police will continue for generations and generations to come. Because that is the success. That is the true success. So learn to have a succession plan. And you must also create some new leaders for sustainability. And I leave you with this, the final one. Your belief in God is extremely important. Because, and don't tell me that you believe in God and you don't love people. Because if you don't know how to love people, you can never love God. Because God, you can't even see. But the people that God has created himself, you understand? Start by loving them first. Because when you love people, it's when, just like Professor Agbola said, some of the things that are bothering him, you know, a lot of things that he wants to do, is he quickly realized that some of the drugs that are sold today to look after black people, that those drugs work better in white people. And that's a problem for him. Because he doesn't understand why 2 people will have cancer a black person and a white person. And the white person will take the job and have a better outcome. And the black man person will take it, and the outcome is not as great. Why is he even thinking about people with cancer or women? It's because of the love for people. That why should people die when they don't? See, when you have that sort of mindset, your mind will constantly look for solution to that problem. When you find the solution to that problem, trust me, money will follow. Money always follows solution. And if you don't believe in God, and you don't believe in people, you will not find solution for people, because all you think about will be for yourself alone. Imagine everything that products has been manufactured. Imagine if I'm the only one that is using it. And I'm the only one that is using it. We don't call this because we don't money. Because when I use, I can't pay myself. You understand? Okay? So, but when you think about solution for people, and look around you, some of you are going to places, you are jumping to a place where they've almost solved their problems. And you are living in a place where there are problems. And when there are problems, all that you require is to look for solution to those problems. And when you find solution to those problems, you know, in Africa, our problems are plenty. You understand? So that's why Africa has massive potential. Because money is where there is problem. And the only way you can provide that you can make money is to find solution to those problems and create value. And when you do that, you run a business and you make sure that the business is profitable, because you have mentors, you know people that make mistakes, and you are not afraid to ask people. And because you have great people around you, and because you continue to carry the presence of God inside of you. And when you have all those things that are spoken about, it's easy for you to become an entrepreneur. An entrepreneur is the only one that is successful, that is making profit. Thank you so much for inviting me, and thank you for listening.
This is standing ovation for the guest lecturer of today. Let's keep clapping. We are not clapping. As we are giving the standing ovation for a lecture well packaged and well delivered. Thank you very much. Thank you, Mr. Seated. The Vice Chancellor, that distinguished member of the University Management, our guest lecturer of today, our own father in chemistry, University, of course, the head department of chemical sciences, our dean, faculty of science, other distinguished personality at the high table. I want to thank you for making today a reality, not making it a reality, but apart from the students and other members of the audience here today, the happiest person in our midst here is the person that thinks about it, that wants to create value, so that more money will come later for this great university. I'm talking of no any other person than the Vice Chancellor of this great university, the man that will always tell you education, entrepreneurship, and employability. Is very, very much happy, because for a department, chemical science department, to think up to this level, we are already creating value by making sure that we are putting in, giving you the right the right direction, creating the right value in you, so that later in the day, money will continue to come to this great university. I want to equally inform you that a distinguished member of this university community, Dr. J.S. Asidi, is the director of linkage and partnership for this great university. Let's put our hands together for him. Dr. Asidi, are you here? Now, Dr. Asidi is equally connecting this university with the international community for entrepreneurship and innovation, partnership, and every other thing that has been beneficial to this university and continue to be a very, very benefit in terms of, in monetary terms, to this great university. Put our hands together for Dr. J.S. Asidi. Thank you very much. Our Vice Chancellor, it's equally important for me to recognize the presence of the Director of Academic Planning of this great university, Professor N.A.A. Babarinde. Thank you very much. We appreciate you. And the representative of the University Liberia, Dr. Abiodun, you are welcome, sir. Thank you very much. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, the faculty officer of Faculty of Science was very supportive in this course. Mrs. Jumoke Isoya is calling our Mrs. Isoya. Thank you very much for coming. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, let me now invite Dr. Ogumuyi to please step forward and conduct the question and answer time. Thank you.
Great chemist. I know we've all gained a lot from this presentation, and there are some beautiful quotes here, and I know you have written them down. Before we go to our question, can anybody just tell me one? Just one quote from all the lectures. Yes, I want somebody. Just the quote. Yes, thank you very much. Come over. The guy here said come over. Just tell us one. Me, I have about 10 here. But I won't bother you with those 10. Just tell us one.
Get a mentor.
Get a mentor. Thank you very much. Please clap for her. Yes, somebody at the back there. Yes, let us hear you. I can't hear. He said you should come forward. If you have another one, please follow him so that we don't waste time with that. Thank you. Yes, get a mentor. Just put that one down.
You can't say you like people if you don't like God.
Thank you very much. You can't say you like people. You can't say you like God if you don't like people. Yes.
Define your goal. Another one. God speaks to everybody.
God speaks to everybody. Thank you very much.
Yeah. Solve problems. Because when you solve the problems, the money will come.
Thank you very much.
Without creating value and making money.
So you create value, then you make profit. Yes.
There is a difference between someone that loves the idea and someone that works towards the idea.
Thank you very much. So that the idea will not die with you.
When you solve problem, then money follows.
Thank you very much. And now this folks will want to welcome a question. First, I want to take from the staff that are present. I don't know my guys are the people here. I won't bother you. You can just tell us anytime you have your own question. But from the academic staff, if there are any question from the staff. So we go to this. Is okay, somebody? Yes. Thank you very much, Mark.
But I have a question in quotes you said delayed gratification. Please, I just want you to expatiate more about this, because I discovered that youth of today, when they involve in anything, what they are after is the profit. What will I get from this? But I want you, sir, to just split this a bit so they will know that what I'm doing is, I'm not doing this to gain money. I'm not doing this to earn this money. Though you will earn the money, Though you will earn the money, but there are some things that needs to be considered.
Thank you very much. I've noted that question. We are going to answer them all along. Yes, any other question from the member of staff? Now from the students. Question? Yes. From this, yes, please come over. The other lady too, please follow in.
So, how do I start the business? Where do capital come from? My name is Emmanuel Oluwafemi. How do I start the business? Where does the capital come from?
Okay, thank you.
Good afternoon. Coach Ibrahim. I want to ask a question. Sir, you said most times we choose a very far mentors, that our parents and our lecturers should be our mentor. some of our parents are actually not reachable in the sense that they don't understand things like, they don't really understand what we're going through because they are somehow far. And our lecturers too, they are not easy to relate with at times. I feel so.
Hello, please, one house.
So I feel, how do we think these people as our mentor?
Okay, thank you very much.
Alright, sir. My name is Departmental. I'm from Departmental Studies. My question is, what is the major challenge? You said challenge for entrepreneur. So what is the major challenge an entrepreneur face? The major challenge I must focus on as an entrepreneur. That's my question.
Okay, the next person.
Mine is like a partner of it. Mine is Daniela. So I want to ask, what is your favorite aspect of being an entrepreneur? And what are the biggest mistakes first-time entrepreneurs can make?
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Isioma. I'm an ex-chemistry student. I came for my certificate, my opportunity to be here. So my question is, you mentioned something about courses that will be introduced soon. You kept emphasizing on it. I would like to know, as somebody who wants to pursue a master's, what are these courses, and is there an opportunity there for chemists especially, because I'm a chemistry student? Secondly, is Codex open to graduate training? Because like the other woman asked concerning gratification, they might not understand now. When you serve, you understand that there's a place where you have to get skills before you begin to make profit. So is Codex open to graduate training programs? And if it's open, how do I apply? Thank you.
Good afternoon. I'm very happy to be. My name is Alabi Anuwa Samuel. I'm a Departmental I study biochemistry. So I'm happy to be here, especially the president of TBC. And I think it's my first time listening. It's just like a personal question today. Because when I told someone there in my area that I'm studying chemistry, the person gave me some bad, I feel like because it's not. But today I felt happy. But my question is that these days, in most companies, I believe that everyone has potential in themselves. So my question is that, Esther, do you think anyone is useless? Because I used to feel like, why do most industries just someone looking for a job? Maybe in the interview, what they have to me, some stuff like that, and they will feel like you can't work for us. You understand what I'm saying? You can't work for us, so then the person will go. So I used to feel so bad about that kind of thing, that why do they find something else that fits the person? Because I believe that person that came for this interview of this job, he has some potential in him. Some people might not be good at sales. My second question is that, you study chemistry, industrial, I study biochemistry, sir. So how do you manage to get yourself involved in this pharmaceutical association?
Is it possible I can get a copy of the slide? And also, funding ideas and expressions more on how to go about it. Funding ideas.
I think that's the last question.
Yes. My name is Cindy. So my question is, as a chemistry student or industrial chemistry student, when you tell people outside, this is because I am studying, they expect you to learn for chemical core, again. So, but we don't know of the theory aspect, and we're expected to learn this practical aspect as IT, or when you are doing your project. And sometimes even your IT, you are not even very opportune to work with chemicals. So, is it possible that they can add this stuff to, it might not be opportune, but those are upcoming. If they can do more practical also
I'm an industrial chemistry student, but I actually heard from someone that when you want to do your master's, you can, like, in another field like pharmacy and something like that. Like, is it possible to, like, do your master's in pharmacy, like, related to nursing and other stuff like that?
Okay. Okay, sorry sir. You didn't ask a question too before you answer them.
Thank you. Glad those with my teacher. They are living in Nigeria. So they are living a huge vacuum. How are we going to deal with it? Because I know they produce the inhaler for asthma patients. So what is smoke is doing to fill that vacuum? Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir. I think we'll take the permission of our guest speaker to answer the question.
Can we allow for me to answer the Dean's question first? Can we? Yes, GSK is exiting Nigeria. We will never know the full picture, reasons why they are leaving, okay? And even if I know, I might not be able to say them here. The only thing I will say is this, that GSK living as a company does not mean that their products are leaving Nigeria. So we can understand that, because the products will still be in Nigeria. It just means that maybe somebody else will not be selling their products. I've heard that since GSK left, Maiden has gone from certain price to another price. Most of these things are caused by the people. Okay? The other reason why that might happen might be because of the exchange rate, dollar to naira. We all know that naira value to dollar, if you look at just about 6 months ago, the value has been almost increased by 100%. So the ones that would have happened to that product, if that product was 2,000 before, it's not supposed to be more than 4,000. If it's just because of dollar to naira. But what we do to ourselves as individuals, for the sake of making money, is what's causing some of those things that we see. So somebody will understand that there might be scarcity of the product, and the person has few of those products, and they will sell it to the highest bidder, not caring about the people. Okay? So people like that, may I tell them, it's between them and God. Because, as I said before, everything that we are, God created us on this earth to benefit another person. You understand? That's why God gives talents, different talents to everybody. So that all of us cannot be bricklayers together. If we are bricklayers, who's going to be carpenter? You understand? So everybody's got talent. But sometimes in Nigeria, I wouldn't even just say Nigeria, I think mankind, we're not good to our people, we're not good to our fellow people. And all we think about is ourselves, sometimes the greed. And even if you look at Nigeria, for those of us that were born in the 60s and maybe 70s, there was more love among people than what you have now. You were born during a period where if you don't have food in your house, you can send your child to next door to go and get garri, to go and get rice. They wouldn't even ask questions, you just give. But now we're all building houses and with big gates. As if it's not enough, we even put dogs to make sure that they will do electric fence so that nobody can come here. We are too much into ourselves and it's just about money. But that's something for all of us to think about. You understand? Everybody will be okay eventually. You understand? But it's very important that we all those don't chase money. See, they are chasing money because you don't have it yet. When you have money, you realize that you should not be chasing money. Honestly. You might say, let me have the money first. You understand? And as a matter of fact, all of you even have some money. You are even lucky. Some of you, your parents give you money. Abi, you have money. The question is, what do you do with that money that you get? So, it's the price that you see about those things going up is artificial. It's not right. Okay? The second thing you ask is, what is Codex doing about that? We as a company, we're very focused on areas where we stay, where we operate as a company. We look for problems. We look for areas where people are not providing solutions. So when we first came to this country, to my own amazement, there was no guideline for management of diabetes in Nigeria. And we just came in 2008. So we focus on cardiometabolic care. We're expanding that to non-communicable disease because there are other non-communicable diseases that are killing people, even more than diabetes, cancer. So we're looking at areas that have been neglected, like sickle cell. So we just introduced a sickle scan test kits to test yourself. So those of you that are lovers, before you get married, check yourself to make sure that you are truly compatible with that person, that both of you are not AS or SS. Something as simple as that. So those are the areas that we're focusing on. But trust me, there are other people that are thinking like that, and other people will be able to do some of those products that GSP is doing. Okay? There's a drive in Nigeria for local production. So it's not even just in Nigeria, it's across, I would say, Muslim global. Now there was a conference, world conference, that's looking at local production so that drugs are manufactured in countries where they need them, rather than the drugs coming from outside into the country. Okay, so there are lots of moves that are taking in that direction. Thank you, sir. Okay, so I like the fact, all the questions are fantastic because it means that you'll be listening, okay? So I'll start with the delayed gratification. So the lady that asked the question is very correct, okay? See, when you are starting something that you want to last for a very long time, yeah? You have to understand that there's a process. You can't, for example, waste money the way you used to waste money. You can't say, okay, let me share this with you. All of you will understand, you probably will recognize it very quickly. Story of somebody that finished university and says, I don't want to work for anybody, I just want to do business. Okay, you know that's plenty people are like that. Yeah, they are thinking about money, I don't want to do business, so I don't want to work for anybody. But excuse me, you just have knowledge in school, you don't have skills. So that business you want to do you think the act of doing business is not coming from skills? So then this is what they will do, some of them. They will find their parents, boyfriends, or girlfriends, they give them money, they say they want to go to Dubai to go and buy clothes to sell. Abi, you can recognize that, Abi? So then, somebody pays for the ticket, somebody gives them the money to go and buy the clothes. And then they come to Nigeria. They are not only looking at the value of the clothes, the money that they spend to buy the clothes. They come to Nigeria. And then they sell it, not thinking about the money that they have spent to travel there, the hotel, because somebody else is paying. You understand? Okay, so you have not gone, bring the products in, you bought the products maybe for $10, you now come to Nigeria, you sell it for $15. And you are taking away the profits of your $5. When you have not looked at the cost of flying to that place, the cost of the hotel, the cost of the food. So next time you want to do that business and nobody is paying for your flight to go there, you then realize that that stupid business that you have done is actually not profitable. It's actually not a business. It just went on holiday. And it's not a business. Okay? See, you are laughing, but I know a lot of people that have done that. And surprise, surprise, after the first visit, they will never do that business again. They will go to another one. Okay. Coming back to delaying gratification, all it's just saying is that if you know where you are going in life, everything that you are thinking, has to align with that place that you are going in life. And if you start a business, and most businesses, you don't have plenty money to start, right? You start small. So you start a business small. In fact, when you say that you don't want to work for somebody who wants to do business, I'm getting angry. Because how would you even be able to pay yourself salary from that little business that you start? Because if you start a business with $1 million today, or even $10 million today, you can't pay yourself enough salary in that business. The way that some of you will buy a mobile phone, the way you buy your iPhone, you can't even buy an iPhone from that sort of business. Because if you do a business and you are looking after people, the most profit you can get in a business like that, after taking out everything that's all the operational costs, can be more than 2 million naira on 10 million naira. You understand? You now take that 2 million naira, okay? After you pay your salary, you now take that 2 million naira and you are thinking, now I want to treat myself. You understand? I want to go on holiday to Ghana. And you take that 2 million naira, you go to Ghana. You know you started with 10 million naira before, right? So that 10 million naira is still intact. But trust me, every 2 months, in Nigeria, every month, the value of that 10 million naira is going down. What you bought with that 10 million naira before, you will not be able to buy anymore. You understand? So, therefore, all those things that you think you need, like the mobile phone. So if you come to me, for example, even with the little money that God has blessed me with, you say you need a phone, I'll give you a phone. If you say you need an iPhone, then that is not a need for me to meet. My need for me to help you is to get you a phone. A phone is something that you can talk with. You pick the phone, you call, and you pick up, abi? And if it's the one that you can use to send WhatsApp for your business, there are phones that can still send WhatsApp for business under 50,000 naira. But you now carry money that you just made. You carry and go and buy a phone of 1.5 million naira, and you say somebody is doing your family. You understand what that's what I meant by delaying gratification. You understand? All those phones, but now imagine that 10 million naira, you are now paying yourself just enough to get a mobile phone, just enough to buy food, because you need to eat, just enough to have shelter. Okay, I'm going to tell you something about me also that people didn't know. Don't forget that, like I told you, I've already made money in my 20s, selling different things. When I started college, I stayed in my friend's house in his boys' quarter for 3 years. 3 years. Okay, you can ask me, by the way, don't think I didn't have a house. I bought my first house in the UK in 1994. You understand? And I came back to Nigeria. Do you understand? 1994. I came back to Nigeria. I was staying in my friend's house in his boys' quarter. One, my friend is my massive helper. Because by staying with him instead of staying in the hotel. If I stay in the hotel, one, I'll be isolated. I won't even know what is happening in Nigeria. Because when you stay in the hotel, it's almost like you're on holiday, right? And the reality of man is different from the proper reality when you stay with somebody. That's number one. Number two, I stayed with him so that the money that I will use to go and get a house, I'm saving it because the business needs it. Okay? All the furniture that I need to buy at that time, the business needed it because I started the business with my own money. And I didn't have plenty of it. And my salespeople that need to drive from one place to another to go and sell the products to make money for me, they needed the money for the car. So my primary aim was how would money come in, not how would money go out. At least if the money is going to go out, it should be money that will go out to bring more money. You understand? So I stayed in that guy's house. In fact, for him, he's even more intelligent than me. Because his father left him a whole house. The front of the house, the downstairs and the upstairs, he rented it out to live in his own boys' quarter. This person I'm talking about now is a multi-billionaire himself. And he lives in Lekki. But there was a time when all of us were in the Lupeju, living in the boys' quarter. Not because we didn't have the money, because that money, the business needed it. The money that you have chopped, that you have eaten, you can never have back. So your seed, there's a seed, there is harvest. You plant the seed. When you plant one corn or maize, you plant it down. When it grows, it brings so many bunches of what do you call it? Corn. Okay, you have the cobs of corn. You can have even just from one. You can have about 3 or 4 from one stem. You are allowed to eat one out of that one. The remaining 3, you can sell some of it and replant another one. You understand? And then it gets bigger, and then it gets bigger, and it gets bigger. Let me tell you, honestly, about 40 years ago, I was in a press quarter. You don't want to know where I live now. You understand? Because now, you know where I live now? I built that place within 10 months, and I built it out of plenty money. You understand? One time I didn't have a car. Right now, I have too many cars that I can't even park them. You understand? You know, and the company started with having 3 cars. The company started with having 3 cars. All these people you see here, they all use Jeep now in the company. You understand? That is what delayed gratification is. Because there's nothing that you want. You always have to think about when you want to. And honestly, in my office, you know that prayer that says, eyes have not seen, ears have not heard. The people that you know, it has not even started to enter the hearts of men. You understand? See yourself like that. That this world, they don't even know what you are made of yet. But you have to be patient to show them. In my office, I want to tell them, we say, eyes are seeing. Because they can see our office. Before we got that office that you saw, we were not on the corridor road before. We were somewhere quietly. People didn't know what we were cooking. But now they know what we are cooking. But they still don't know the stuff that is inside what we are cooking. You understand? That is delaying gratification. Some people make money quickly. The first thing they want to do is to go and get G-Wagon. You understand? There is I challenge you guys to read a book called Rich Dad Poor Dad. If you have read it, there's one more that you should read that I'm telling everybody in my office to read. Who Moved My Cheese? Go and read it. You understand? Around you, you will think nothing is happening. You understand? Meanwhile, things are happening all the time. And cheese is being moved all the time. So I hope I've answered your question, Abi. Okay. So capital to start business. This is the problem of every entrepreneur. You never have enough money to start a business. See, entrepreneurs usually are the ones that have ideas. And usually they don't have money. In Nigeria, it's even tougher. Because the banks don't like to give loan to somebody that does not have properties or collateral. Do you understand? And once, that factory that we showed you, the reason why it's taking 7 years to build is because we were struggling to raise the money. It was a lot of money, multi-billion-dollar that you need for the project, okay? And everywhere you went, people will say, bring some deposit. Go and bring a house in the Korea's deposit. And I'm saying, are you stupid? If I have the house in the Korea, I would have sold it and put inside this business. You understand? But however, if you have great ideas, and you have a very good mentor, your mentor should be able to guide you how to raise money. There are people that have money that are looking for good ideas where they can put that money into. You understand? But the question I will ask anybody that comes to me, for example, to come and invest, and you say, I want you to make an investment of 1 million naira. I will say, how much have you got? And I look at the sort of phone that you are using. So you are using iPhone, which is 1.5 billion, and you are trying to ask me for 1 million naira. You think I'm stupid? You understand? I'll look at the way you dress. I'll look at what you're wearing. You understand? I will ask you, how much money do you have? You should have something of your own. Even if it's only 100,000 naira that you have, and you are trying to look for 1 million naira, and you have to show me that you are ready to commit that 100,000 naira. You understand? But all I'm saying is that there are ways of raising money. When you have a fantastic idea, find a mentor that can guide you, that can introduce you to people, but be ready to sow yourself also into that business. Okay? And I think somebody also asked me about how to fund ideas. I think I just answered those two together. Okay? Somebody said, how do you choose your mentors? Okay. I think you're correct about what you said. You know, sometimes, maybe, I'm not saying, the reason why I said that you should look inwards, talk to your parents, talk to your pastor, talk to your lecturers, is because they have invested a lot in you. You understand? People that invest a lot in you will have your back. You understand? There are somebody who does not know you from Adams. I'm not saying those people that do not know you in Adams, some of them are not good, some of them are fantastic. You understand? I mentor people that are not my family. You understand? But all I'm just saying is that young people these days, when you look for mentors, are usually on social media. You understand? And trust me, not a lot of very serious people will be spending time on social media unless it's a business for them. Do you understand? And you guys all know you spend time on social media. You know, in the church, they say the years you can't come and dating, that you get it back. You can't get it back, though. Because today now, this today, when today is gone, you can't bring today back anymore. Stop wasting your time on something that is not important. You understand? And find mentors that are real mentors. And start with people that you know. You understand? Don't be looking at people and say they don't know anything. They know more than you do. And unfortunately, young people, especially new Gen Zs in the house, you think you know everything. You understand? But trust me, there is nothing that you know. You know certain things. You know how to use social media. You know how to use IT. But there are so many things also that you don't know how to do. That you need to ask people that are older than you. Major challenges faced by entrepreneurs. Yes. Challenges, number one, money. Number two, people. Okay? Finding the right people to join you in that drive is a problem. Money is a problem. Funding. There are some also things that you sell. Because when you buy something to sell, you also need people to sell them to actually. So you need money. In pharmaceutical files, for example, it's a very expensive business you do because salespeople, you need to buy cars for them. If you don't buy cars for them, they won't stay, or they will join another company that's going to give them cars. So for us in colleagues, the first thing that we do is make sure the salespeople have cars. Okay? So they have cars because they are the soldiers in town, you know, and then you bring the money in, and then we can buy our own cars. Okay? And so funding is always a problem. I would say money and people. Because you already have the ideas. So you have the ideas, you need money to be able to make it happen, you need people to be able to make it happen. Okay? So I would say those are the biggest challenges, the two main challenges that I've had. It's challenges of funding and challenges of money. You know, but if you saw everything that you have in your business, you know, can I tell them? That factory that you saw that we just built, yes, we built that factory without borrowing a penny. And the reason why it's taking 7 years is because in Nigeria they will ask you to come and take commercial loan to do a factory, which is very difficult. Okay? So with that certain saving, every money that we make, we put inside it. Every money that we make, we put inside it. And luckily for us, we are still the number one in Southern Africa. You understand? Okay? But you can't be building that factory and be buying private jets. It doesn't work. You understand? Okay? So you do that thing that's going to give you money first. So if it's house that you want, you do your business, you see that the house will come out of that business. If it's car that you want for yourself, do the business, you see that the car will come out of the business. But the business cannot come out of the car, the business cannot come out of the house. Do you understand? And if you want, let me also tell you, you know, when you start to work, you are gathering your skills and stuff like that, okay? If it's a company that does not have your back, you get to a point where you must start to think about the business that you are doing. You don't need that job yet. You understand? Between that job and include your time that you have, your spare time that you have, between that business on the side. So that when that business gets to a point where it can just pay you food, money for food, you can now put your energy into that business. Leave that job, put your energy into that business, and be dedicated and focused on that business. And then the business will start to grow. You'll be able to pay yourself good salary. From good salary, one day you'll be able to build the house with that business. You've never seen anybody that built a business out of a house. Okay? But people build houses out of the business. Aspect of new, okay, yes, new courses, yes. The lady talked about new courses, the VC already said it. I think by January, there'll be a course on in vitro diagnostics, biosensor and nanotechnology. Okay, I don't know, so that's what your university is introducing, and we're supporting that at the beginning. And maybe initially I know from the discussion that that course is probably going to be a final year elective course. Maybe it might be a postgraduate course later, but that's for the university to determine to do that to the people that put it together. But that's the cost. In terms of college graduate schemes and stuff, we take, honestly speaking, we're looking for good people. I'm not just saying, you understand? We're looking for good people. And if I see a CV, and that CV carries Olabisi Obasanjo University, honestly, my heart is already happy. You understand? Okay? And I'll be interested in knowing who that person is. And so that way, let me tell you, so that make it more interesting. Tell me that you've done chemistry or industrial chemistry. You understand? And we started a program with the university. And as I said, 6 of your colleagues are working with us now in Lagos. You know, so, and for the young lady that was asking for an opportunity, I think see any of these 2 guys, you understand? Talk to them and get their details so that you can send your CV. My young brothers, I was asking if everybody is useless. Trust me, there's nobody that God has created that is useless. Not a single person. See, I even tell them in my office, I tell them that I would rather employ somebody that has the right attitude, no experience, no work experience, than take somebody with a lot of experience but with bad attitude. You understand? So the only thing I will say is that put your best foot forward. Be confident when you go for interviews. When somebody invites you for interview, first it means that they've seen your CV, they like it, they want to see you. We put an advert out in about 6 newspapers, and I think we had over 5,000 people, and you know, you can't invite 5,000 people, so you have to screen them and invite certain number. And then you see them, sometimes you first do the online interviews, you see how they interview. If you can't sell yourself, nobody can know what you can do just by looking at you. Do you understand? So I've told you how to sell yourself, how to believe in yourself. If somebody says you haven't got one experience, think about everything you've done in your life and put it as an experience and put it out there. You understand? And when you come to talk about it, address the question that they're asking you and show confidence in it. In fact, there is nobody that has never been rejected before. Me, I've applied to companies. I had a file where they put where the letters will come. I don't even know who they are. I just found them because I know they will reject. They will reject. Until you understand how to interview. And then you do, and then my interview, when I did my interview, it was supposed to be 3 interviews. Final interview that where I got employed. It was supposed to be 3 interviews. I did the first interview and they employed me immediately. Meanwhile, I've heard a lot of people saying no. I used to be pained like that. To say I'm good, I'm better than this, I'm better than this. But most of the time, we blame the interviewer instead of blaming ourselves. The other thing we teach in our company is that you must own your own problem. Stop thinking somebody is responsible for your problem. You understand? If you are applying for a job and they are not calling you, ask yourself, what am I doing wrong? What is it about my CV? Some of you write CVs as if you are secondary school students. You understand? If you don't know how to write CV, go to people that know how to write CV. Go and learn how to write CVs. Because the CV is what is going to sell yourself. If I have 10 or 100 CVs and I'm only looking for one person, I look for the one that is speaking correct English, putting the CV together nicely, what did they say they've done. You just shortlist them, and then those are the ones that you see. And finally, when you are interviewing them, you must put your. So if somebody says no, in fact, let me share something else with you. And I know Ellie knows this because I've shared with him so many times. I used to go for interviews to go and ask questions. This was in the UK. Don't forget, black man from Africa, from Nigeria, from Shagamu, trying to get a job in the pharmaceutical industry where they don't have any black at all. You understand? So I go to interviews, I know they will say no. So I write my own question. So the question they asked me previously that I could not answer well, I'll write the question down because I still don't have the answer. So at every interview they will ask you, do you have questions for me? Some of you will say no question. Stupid. You understand? So I bring my list. All the questions that I couldn't answer at the last interview, I will ask. And then you will now say, in fact, they used to tell me that it's enough. How many questions do you want to ask? We need to interview them, because they tell you I want to win. When I go to the next interview, now I know more. So when I go to the next interview, and if they are unlucky in their lives, and they ask me one of those questions, I'll be ready to answer. By the time I give them the answer, let them ask me another that I don't know, I'll write it down. You understand? And I go to the next interview. That's what you need to do. You need to own your problems. Stop them. There's nobody in your family that is doing you. You can believe somebody in your family that is doing you. That means that there's nothing you can do. But even if somebody is doing your family, and you say that that is doing your family, that is not you, they're doing themselves. You understand? And you focus on yourself. Already, by focusing on yourself, you're already making progress. Chemistry, how did I get to pharmaceutical? Okay, I just told you that there's nowhere that chemists cannot work. Do you understand? There's nowhere. In fact, you should have so much confidence. I can share. This is not going public, I mean, isn't it? Can you talk? Someone asked for a copy of slides. I think there are some parts of the slides that we can share. Okay. So if you talk to these guys, they'll be able to send you the slides that you feel that we can share with you. The funding we talked about, opportunity for practical. I think this is also very important. Okay, and I think the school is already, university is already doing it. During your holidays, whether it's CWES or no CWES, find somewhere to go. You understand? Find somewhere to go. Go and sit. Don't think everything is about money. Go and learn something. Find companies where you have friends, where you have uncles, where you know somebody, where you can say, let me just come to the office, just to come and sit, and as long as they have chairs and tables. You understand? Go there, help them. Tell them what you can do to help them. That you're not even looking for money. You know, some people will pay just to do voluntary service in a place to get the skills. Don't wait until you finish university before you start having experience. Even do it in your mama's shop, your papa's shop, your parents' shop. If your mom is selling, go and be doing sales practice in that shop. Everything is not just about enjoyment and party, and then when you finish your school is when you now want to go to the real world. Start going to the real world now. And by saying the real world, I don't mean partying. Partying is good. You work hard, you play hard. You understand? But you must know where you're going in life. And you need that experience. And don't wait until after university before you start saying you don't have experience, okay? I think that's about it really.
Thank you very much, sir, for the answers provided to this question. While you are answering, one of our colleagues just beckoned to me that they have a question. Please. Sorry.
Thank you, sir. I must say, the last 30 to 1 minute has been breathtaking. That was a beautiful presentation, sir. Now, my question is, while you were delivering your lectures, you mentioned that the missing link, there is a major problem between the academia and the industry. So my question is, as the chairman or as the CEO of POLIS, what are you doing to at least curb or reduce this missing link between the industry and the academia? That's the first one. And then secondly, I know Cody's, one of your products is biosensor. And I worked in a lab for my PhD where biosensors, solar cells, batteries, and supercapacitors are majorly our focus. So, and as we all know, from the word biosensor, there are majorly devices that are used to measure the biological reactions or chemical reactions by generating signals, which is proportional to the concentration of the anode. So now, my question is, sir, when you look at where I did my PhD, like I said, it's called Sensor Laboratories. And like I said, the focus is on biosensors. And you notice that there are funds that are being pumped into the system to do such research. So I want to appeal is there anything Codis can do to actually fund a research on this biosensor from novel materials that will be readily available and environmentally friendly? And because I know at the heart of every industry is profitability, and I'm sure if we can actually get something that will be cheaper to what you have presently, it will also go a long way. Thank you, sir.
Okay. Thank you very much. Fantastic question. The first one I've sort of alluded to it, but I will explain it a little bit more. Okay? So the new factory, the Codis Bio factory that we are starting, when our partners came to the country, a professor of nanotechnology from South Korea came. One of the questions that, in fact, to have that factory to come to Nigeria, because if you want to do what we are doing, WHO has to be interested in it. World Health Organization has to be interested in it. The reason why they have to be interested in it is so that whatever it is you are manufacturing, people can buy it out from outside Nigeria. Okay? And WHO provides quality assurance guarantee. They do what they call WHO pre-qualification to say that this factory is pre-qualified and all the donors can buy from there and send to other countries apart from Nigeria. They can buy from Nigeria, they can send to other places. Okay? One of the gaps that we found was that or the challenge, or the concerns that they had. One of them was that where would you find the scientists that work in this factory? Because it has never been done before in Nigeria. So schools are not even teaching it. So where would you find enough people? And even if you want to find them, the few that you will find are probably in Lagos. So why not put this factory in Lagos State? So first there was a fight to say we need this thing in Nigeria. You know, there are some people that are working to ensure that good things don't come to Nigeria. Plenty. You understand? And they usually will. And when those things are to come to Africa, they would rather take it to countries where they have more power over the people. Okay? And you know Nigerians, we know they take no. You understand? But we're too confident. We say we don't need anybody to do things. They don't like that. Okay? So first thing is to get the thing to come to Nigeria. The technology transfer, because we don't have the transfer here. The second is, now it's in Nigeria. To bring it to Ogun State was a big wahala for them. And so one of the things that we promised them we're going to do, which is what we're doing now, is the introduction of this course in your curriculum here. So that students from here can already have introduction into biosensor, in vitro diagnostics and nanotechnology from university. Eventually there will be maybe a master's program and MSc program, you understand, that will specialize more in those sorts of things. You know, these young guys here, you know, you'll be surprised, I mean, you know, as a lecturer, you understand, they have very inquisitive minds. You understand? So when you give them one idea like that, their brain will start to ask more questions. So this sort of technology eventually will reside with us in Nigeria. So let's say they come, they teach us how to make HIV test kits, for example. And we have Lassa fever that is killing us. Once we have the technology for HIV, these guys will be able to come up with ideas on how to address our own local problems. And it's only when we do that that all of us will be finally say we know what we are doing in terms of local production. So that journey is starting from this university, and all of you should be very proud. And all thanks to your vice chancellor here. It's a discussion that we've been having before. We've had several things that we wanted to do. In terms of support, I can tell you that as a company, as an indigenous company, this thing is very close to our own heart. Okay? And you will not have Pfizer wanting you to develop your own technology so that you stop buying from them. They won't do it. So it's only the indigenous companies that can help. Maybe some of the things you guys can do for us is to start loving making Nigeria products. So that if we start buying our products, we make more money and we could put parts of them back. But for us as a company, we have a CSR, we have a foundation, Codix Foundation. Out of that foundation is Codix Academy. And that Codix Academy, we do two things. We teach or we create a platform so that health professionals can be better taught. Because even the health professionals themselves, they need training. So we do that. And then the second thing that we do is what we are doing now with the university. You understand? You know, so that students can also be raised like that. Okay? And for us, the promise I can make, and he knows, there are so many things we are talking about. This is just the start, and God will help us.
Thank you very much, sir. So to wrap it up, we want to thank our guest speaker for answering those questions, and also on behalf of our amiable Vice Chancellor, we also want to thank him for the opportunity also given to the students too. But that's what we call an FSSC. If somebody he was not invited, she was not invited for this program, she came for something else, and she thought, I had some of the students are having a seminar somewhere, let me also join them there too. So we also want to thank you for that opportunity. And lastly, I want to believe with all what we have had today, is there anybody that is still having the Japa syndrome? I'm very sure, even if there is, it's going to be limited. What is the opposite of Japa? That one has Japa there, a non-Japada. Opposite of Japa. Opposite of Japa is Taku. Now Taku here. I wish you best of luck. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. The beautiful one from Dr. Ogunmoye. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you, sir. Mr. Vice Chancellor, may I now invite Dr. Olufemi Adeyemi to please step forward and conduct the departmental request. Thank you very much. Please let's put our hands together for another distinguished scholar from the Chemical Science Department. Thank you, sir. Mr. Vice Chancellor, sir, your actions always remind me of Professor Babaride's common saying, now we are getting there. I want to thank you for the focus you have since before assumption of office, and now that you are on the seat. Thank you very much. My dear Samuel, you see, we are like an orphan, and therefore we will make a request. Though later we will go around the facilities we have and the one that are near completion. So based on that, I've been directed to make the following requests. 9 in all. Number 1, we will need FTIR. Most of the requests I want to make will not only serve the Department of Chemical Sciences, it will serve this university. Number 2, we will need UV spectrophotometer. Number 3 may sound strange and funny, but it's not. We will need a water distillation unit, not just the conventional, thank you, not just the conventional water distillation plants that we're used to, the one that will be having recirculatory system, so that we will not have to waste water. It has cooling system embedded in it, you know, that will be very, very good for us. Well, we need scanning electron microscope. This will not only serve Department of Chemical Sciences, Department of Physics will benefit from it, Department of Art Sciences, we benefit for it. Even our College of Engineering and Environmental Sciences, we benefit from it. We need differential scanning calorimeter. We also need TGA, thermogrammetry analysis, and GCMS. I had an experience some years back. Gas chromatography mass spectrophotometer. I had an experience some years ago that it will sound strange. A staff of this university will not know where College of Engineering is. Iboku. So I went with Mr. Williams, the chief technologist from physics department. Getting there, I saw some of the equipment I had privilege of using during my PhD. And I said, oh, you have this. This will benefit not only this university, but Ogun State in general. You know, because it's a material testing equipment, which we call tensile tester. That's what Lagos State government has at material testing laboratory at Baja Junction. So, with all this put together, the sky will be our limit. A little more, thank God Professor Ogusowo is here. Your experience with Pharmaceutical Council of Nigeria, Pharmacy Association of Nigeria, is what we had in Chemical Society of Nigeria. It was a very big war, but thank God for our fathers like Professor Tibanjo, Professor Ajayi, Professor Kiene, and so on, who fought tooth and nail to get ICON, Institute of Chartered Chemists of Nigeria, registered. It was a very big thing. How do you expect somebody who did, with due respect to them, I would call it elementary chemistry 100 and 200, to now be dictating to us that we cannot even handle chemicals. You know, all these things is not new. Some of us had experienced it. So, we thank you very much for acceding to our request. Please help me give a round of applause. I want to thank you. God bless you. Thank you very much. Can we put our hands again together for Dr. If anything, the Matthew chapter 7 verse 7 says, ask what? Love and say. Yes, you can see that somebody did that here and she got it. And if somebody did that here and she got it, definitely the Department of Chemical Sciences will call it what? We'll get it. Please put your hands together for Dr. Adil. Thank you very much. Quickly, may I now invite the CSN students, Afolabi, Dennis Oluwatomiwa, to quickly come forward and give the speech. Thank you.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Afolabi Dennis Oluwatomiwa, the CEO of Codes Media. I'm a social media marketer. I recognize presence of all the victories, and I want to say very big thank you for this opportunity. I do not take it for granted. So, without further ado, I would like to get straight to the point, which is the key factors to enhancing the 21st century entrepreneurship. Entrepreneurship, as we all know, means starting a new firm or business. And it has played a very key role in shaping and developing our nation's economy. So entrepreneurship in the 21st century has taken a new turn which requires you to be a tech savvy. A tech savvy means you need to be informed and you need to know about how the modern technology works. You need to be well informed about how the modern technology works, and as an entrepreneur, you must also know how to use the technology to your advantage. You must know how to stay updated on every new things, every new trends and all. So starting and operating a business now has become a lot more easier and accessible, meaning there are more competitions online. That's why you need to be a tech savvy, because you need to be aware of the technology and how the technology works, so that you can use it as an advantage to your own business. So I would like to state the quality of the 21st century entrepreneur. First is critical thinking. As a critical thinker, you should be able to create solutions to problems, and not just solutions to problems. You should be able to create the best solution to problems, meaning you should be able to give a wide range and list of solutions. Whenever there is a problem, then you should be able to pick out the best one to provide to it. Secondly, creativity. Personally, I would love to say creativity is a pillar holding every business, because, for example, now you are in a business competing with 1,000 other businesses similar to yours, and you are offering the same thing, you are giving out the same thing. You should be able to stand out. You should be able to think out of the box. You should be able to present, show new innovations. Thirdly is collaboration. You should be able to collaborate with other entrepreneurs in the same field as yours to achieve a common goal. Let's say, for example, now and this process also helps to reduce cost, because let's say, for example, me as a social media marketer now, let's say I'm collaborating with a graphic designer, an agreement that is going to provide a logo to my media company, and in return I'm going to provide, let's say, a page management service to him. This will help to reduce cost. This is what we call skill swap. So we are only swapping skills between each other without spending a penny. Then fourth is media literacy. Over 80% businesses use social media to reach their customers. And lastly, factors supporting entrepreneurial success: confidence. You must be confident about your business. You should be able to speak about your business everywhere and anywhere. Second is persistence. Never give up in faces of risks and losses. So lastly, networking. You should be able to network with other creators in your field. Thank you very much for this opportunity.
You are not clapping, put your hands together for your colleagues. Thank you very much. The Vice Chancellor, the distinguished personality at the high table, distinguished members of the audience, we have come, we have seen, and today we have all conquered. May I now invite the Vice Chancellor of this great university, Professor Ayodeji Agbola, to please honor our guest lecturer for today, Mr. Sami Ogunjimi, with a plaque presentation award. Thank you very much. I will put your hands together for him. Thank you very much. And the presentation of award to the guest lecturer today. Thank you, sir.
The principals of the university, ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of the Department of Chemical Sciences of this great university, I present an award of excellence to Mr. Samson Ogunjimi. The Goddess Farm Limited Lagos in recognition of the efforts towards the development of chemical industries in Nigeria, as well as a proud alumnus of this great university. Presented to him today, 29th November 2023, as well as for the leaders.
Thank you. Dr. Mrs. Odule, the Subdean of Faculty of Science, step forward and give the floor of Sofan on behalf of the Chemical Science. Can you put your hands together for
Standing on the existing protocol. So, on behalf of the Mr. Vice Chancellor Sir and the Department of Chemical Sciences, I want to thank Mr. Sami Ogunjimi for honoring our invitation and for that wonderful presentation. Really appreciate it. And we pray that God will continue to strengthen you more and more in Jesus' name. And all of our students, I believe you've all enjoyed the presentation. So I want us to stand up and say thank you, sir. So we want to thank you, class, for coming. Thank you, all of us that are here that are facing this occasion. We thank you all. God bless us in Jesus' name. We also want to thank our able Vice Chancellor for installing, for allowing us, for giving us the grace to hold this presentation in the Department of Chemical Sciences. Despite the tight schedule, you still allow us to have it. We really appreciate you. We are gratis, so we want all of this. Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much. Put your hands together for Dr. Mrs. Odule, the Subdean of Faculty of Science, as we round up the program for today with the national anthem. Let's rise for the national anthem. Please let's remain standing as we have the personality at the high table sit the hall, and at the same time the other members of the Chemical Science Department will join the team outside for a group photograph. Thank you very much. Thank you for coming. I wish you journey message back to your various destination.